Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the massive shift from government by paperwork to government by pixels. We're going to unpack how this digital transformation is changing absolutely everything, the good and, well, the not so good.
We've all been there, right? Staring at a mountain of government forms, just feeling completely overwhelmed. For centuries, this manual, paper-based system was just how things were done. But the thing is, it's inefficient, it's frustrating, and as we're about to see, it's surprisingly risky.
But this isn't just about our own personal inconvenience. No, the reliance on paper creates some deep, systemic problems for governments and for us, the citizens. So let's break down exactly what those problems are.
It's not just about the crazy high cost of paper and ink, or literally running out of physical storage space. Think about the bigger risks here. A single fire or a flood could destroy crucial, irreplaceable records forever. And security? A misplaced folder is basically a data breach just waiting to happen. It's an unstable, expensive, and just a profoundly inefficient way to operate.
So, what's the answer to this mountain of paper? Well, it's e-governance. It's this move to using what we call information and communication technology, or ICT, to fundamentally redesign how a government works and serves its people.
At its core, this is a really big move away from manual, face-to-face interactions to a model where technology makes government more efficient, more transparent, and way more accessible. So instead of waiting in line, you log in online. Instead of giant filing cabinets, you have secure digital databases. Okay, so to really get this shift, we need to clarify two key terms that get confused all the time: e-government and e-governance. They sound almost the same, but they represent two very different parts of this whole digital transformation.
Think of e-government as the what. It's the infrastructure, the websites, the databases, all the digital tools. It's basically the government setting up its online shop. It's a one-way street where they provide information and services to you. E-governance, on the other hand, is the how. It's how that system is actually used to create a two-way street. So if e-government is the online store, e-governance is the customer service, it's the user reviews, it's the whole interactive experience that empowers citizens and makes the entire process more collaborative.
And this new way of doing things plays out across four key relationships. G2C, that's you renewing your driver's license online. G2B is a company bidding for a government contract through a digital portal. G2G is all about different agencies sharing data seamlessly. And G2E, well, that's how the government talks to its own employees.
So why go through all this trouble? Why make this massive change? The goal is to achieve what experts call smart governance. And that's this really powerful framework that shows the true potential of this digital revolution.
SMART is actually an acronym for the key goals. Simple, cutting through all that red tape. Moral, using tech to make things more efficient. Accountable, creating a clear digital trail. Responsive, delivering services way faster. And transparent, opening up government data for everyone to see.
And when you actually achieve that, the real-world benefits are huge. Digital records make it so much harder for corruption to hide. Transparency builds trust. And of course, there's the massive convenience of 24/7 access, not to mention the incredible cost savings from just reducing all that paperwork.
Former Compton Mayor Aja Brown really nails it here. This isn't just about being efficient. It's about making sure everyone can access essential services, no matter where they live or what time it is. At its heart, it's all about inclusivity.
And hey, if you want a real-world example, just look at Estonia. After rebuilding post-Soviet Union, they went all in on digital. Today, it's one of the most advanced digital societies on the planet, where citizens can do pretty much everything online, from voting to filing taxes in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, but if e-governance is so great, why isn't every country like Estonia? Well, because the path to a fully digital government is, let's be honest, filled with some serious roadblocks.
The digital divide is a very real thing. For a lot of nations, especially in the developing world, the dream of going digital runs headfirst into the reality of some tough, on-the-ground challenges.
A 2020 study in Sri Lanka actually gives us a really clear snapshot of these challenges. It shows the biggest barriers that both government officials and citizens pointed out.
And the results are pretty eye-opening. The top three barriers are all about access. Nearly a third of the people pointed to a lack of basic ICT infrastructure. Another quarter mentioned not enough bandwidth, slow, unreliable internet.
and 15% talked about that gap between well-connected cities and rural areas. But it's not just about the tech. You also have to fight against old habits, those rigid, old-school ways of doing things. And then there are the very real public fears around data security, the risk of a massive system failure, and sometimes even political resistance to the kind of transparency that e-governance brings.
Despite all these challenges, the push to go digital is pretty much unstoppable. So where's all of this heading? What's the ultimate endgame for e-governance?
Political theorists have actually come up with a term for this potential future. They call it a cyberocracy. It describes this hypothetical government that governs not through a slow bureaucracy, but through the hyper-efficient use of information.
The huge difference here is speed and access. Where a bureaucracy slowly pushes information up and down a chain of command, a cyberocracy could instantly shoot massive amounts of data to exactly the right people needed to solve a problem right then and there.
This really represents a future where decisions are almost entirely data-driven. Imagine a public health crisis being met with an instant, coordinated response based on real-time data, or an economic policy that adjusts minute by minute to market changes. It's kind of like the ultimate evolution of that smart model we talked about earlier.
But this future raises a massive question. As our governments become more data-driven, more automated, and more efficient, how do we make sure they don't lose the human touch? How do we actually embed empathy and fairness into the code itself? That, right there, is the central challenge as we navigate the path to a fully digital state.